Revenge films.
Dean and I met through our mutual friend, and we've been together for 3 years ever since. We're engaged and met both of our parents. We're living in a new apartment, getting ready for our wedding. We're both busy with work, and that way we could spend time together as much as possible. We were in our honeymoon period, so to speak, but it didn't last long. One Saturday night, I was meeting my friend for a drink, but she canceled it at the last minute. I thought about going alone for a moment, but decided to go home instead. I texted Dean, but didn't get a reply from him. He said he was going out to a social meeting, and I thought he just didn't notice my message, so I went straight home. When I got home, I saw the lights on from outside. I thought I turned it off when I left. And then I unlocked and opened the door to find unfamiliar women's shoes inside. I also heard what sounded like thumping noise. Oh no, it's not happening to me. I heard it on social media too many times. At the same time, I calmly turned my camera on and ran into the bedroom, where, as I expected, 2 people were in the middle of having an affair. Dean noticed me and grabbed his underwear, and the woman hid herself under a blanket. This was nothing but him cheating on me. Panicked, Dean said,
"It's not what you think! It's a misunderstanding!"
What else could it possibly be from this site? I was calmer than I thought I would be when I saw them in this state. I got the evidence and I didn't need to see further. I told them to get dressed and we sat down in the living room. I demanded an explanation, but the woman just cried and didn't say anything. This irritated me, but I tried to calm myself down and ask Dean next. He said the woman was Mia, who worked in the same office. She was fresh from college and had just been hired. As they worked in the same room, they were getting closer. Then one day she confessed her feelings to him. Mia was a stereotypical modern working gal with thick makeup and curly hair, total opposite of me. Dean used to say,
"I don't really like the outgoing, sociable woman with heavy makeup."
So I was a little surprised because she looked exactly like that. He said sorry repeatedly, and the woman was still crying. We couldn't even talk, so I let her go home for now. A few days later, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Mia, and she wanted to meet with me alone. I thought she might want to apologize to me properly because we couldn't talk the other day. So I agreed to meet with her, but what she said was nothing I could have imagined. "I want to ask you for compensation." Huh? What are you talking about? "I got fired because of you, so you are responsible for compensation." It was too ridiculous to even mention. She picked a man who was engaged to someone and would ask for compensation from his fiance? I was astonished. She seemed to see herself as the victim here. I couldn't make out her logic. "Do you realize you're the one who picked up a man with a fiance? And you got fired for that. You asked for it. Actually, I'm the one who's asking you for compensation, and you'll be responsible for it." "Do you really expect me to pay for it? I got fired from work. You still have your job. You're not losing anything. Why am I the only one to sacrifice everything?" I really couldn't talk to her. We just didn't communicate. I started having a headache, but I tried to explain to her that if one has an affair with somebody who is engaged, one can be responsible for compensation, which was just a waste of my breath. She decided she was a victim and wouldn't change her attitude. I couldn't think of better words and just told her, "You can complain all you want, but I'll communicate with you through an attorney from now on. You can expect to hear from him and you'll be charged compensation." And I left. I was on my way out and still could hear her screaming to my back, "I'm not gonna pay! I'm not wrong!" I was still engaged to him and he was home, so I told him about this. I told him that we couldn't talk at all and she wouldn't listen to anything I said, and his reaction was,
I already apologized to you, and Mio was punished enough by being fired from work. Why can't you forget about compensation? Then we're back as we were.
He seemed annoyed and didn't even look me in the eye. It was as if he was saying, "It's over now. Why can't you just move on?" His attitude was nothing apologetic or caring, but it was more like he had nothing to do with this. I could no longer be patient. Sorry, but forget about the engagement and the wedding, and I'll demand compensation from you, too.
Wait a minute. This is in the past now. Don't you understand?
How can you decide like that? It should be up to me. There's no way you can decide when you were the very person who cheated on me.
Hey, wait a minute. I said I'm sorry.
You don't seem to understand at all. We met each other's parents and we were engaged. Then you cheated on me and said sorry. And everything will be back to normal? Are you kidding me? I'm done with you. Goodbye. I packed my stuff and went to my parents' house. My parents were furious, naturally. They immediately hired an attorney, and Dean and Mia were charged for compensation. Did he think we could just get back after cheating on me as if nothing happened? He was charged for my moving expenses and the cancellation fee for the wedding venue, in addition to the compensation. Now his parents know about this, and they're angry too. Dean was called back to his parents' house, beaten up by his father, and forbidden to come back. Mia was still complaining, but when her parents heard the word court, they rushed in to interfere. They figured Mia had already lost her job, and with her court record, it would be difficult for her to find another job. She was still shouting the same thing in front of her parents. "Why am I the only one who has to suffer?" "How can you say that? You're the homewrecker. You have to pay the compensation all by yourself." Then she slapped Mia in the face. Mia cried again. When I saw her with Dean, she cried and cried like a baby and couldn't have a conversation. But that didn't work for her parents. They didn't help her. Dean and I had met through our mutual friends, so the word spread fast. The same happened in his office, and he was labeled as an adulterer. No female employees wanted to be near him. Furthermore, we invited the executives of his company to our wedding, and they knew about this too. That meant so many people knew now, and his reputation plummeted. His boss told him that someone who neglects his family would neglect his work for sure. He fell off the corporate ladder for sure. Those two got what they deserved.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.